It's hard to really give from a deficit, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, it's tough. So you have to, I would say, I did have to sacrifice some things. I sacrificed financially for a little bit to do that, right? Because I wasn't practicing as much. But if I wanted to get more time back, I needed to do that, and then I needed to hold myself accountable on the things that I just wasn't doing, right? I wasn't leading by example all the time. And I think once we kind of look at ourselves in the mirror and we do that and we have our aha moments, then we can start holding ourselves accountable, not someone else telling us, you know what I mean? And that's what I feel like I'm doing now at a much higher level.
So let take me back there. So what were some of the things that are the steps that you took, or how did you get yourself to take the steps to trust other people, to take steps back a little bit so that you could take 3 steps forward? Because for a lot of people, there's some fear in that. There's some apprehension, there's some fear, fear of letting go, fear of it not being perfect, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. So the first thing I had to do was make sure I had the right people on my team. Right. Okay. And so that's going through and taking a look at the disc profiles that I had, interviewing the agents, talking with them, seeing really what their why was. Why are they here? Why are they working with me? And I never did that before. Right. All I did was just transact. I wasn't relationship based. I was massively transactional. And so now it's all relationship based. And part of the process is transactional. But understanding each agent and how they work and how they run, right? And understanding each one of my lenders and how they work and how they run. That was the first step. And then once I understood that, then having the trust that when I talk with them about their schedule, because they all share their schedule with me, I ask them, would they be able to work a certain way? I don't tell them, I ask them. And once they say yes, then we write out a schedule. And that's one of the biggest things that helped me, is that I took 2.5, maybe 3 hours with each one of those agents or those lenders and break down a schedule, what their day looks like, and then ask them, can you do this? Will you do this? Not tell them.
You know what? You just hit on something there, and maybe you can expand on that. But what I hear you saying is mutual agreement. You're getting a mutual agreement to the outcome that they want.
Yes.
And you're getting an understanding as to how we're going to hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
But you're getting that up front. There's no surprises down the road.
None. And then once they agree to that, and I then track, my KPIs, and then I coach off of my KPIs and the conversion. So it's not so much of like, you didn't dial for 3 hours or you didn't make 500 calls. It's, you said you were going to do X. And if you do X, that's going to equate to Y, which should get you paychecks. And if you don't do each one of the steps that are in that equation, you're not going to get paid. But that's not my decision not to do them. My job is to coach you to make sure you do them. And that was a big change for me, because before I wouldn't write things out. And again, thank you, Mike. I wouldn't write things out. Everything's written out now. And my reviews would be random. And now they're all in a cadence, right? Where they're super focused. And then the same thing with our trainings. Our trainings are all in a cadence. We don't force people to go, but we know when you don't go, and we track it. Okay. Because the KPIs are what's going to keep you on or let you go. And that's how I focus. And before I would lose my mind when it came to, they didn't make 2,000 calls, whatever. That's gone. It's real simple. If you do A, B, C, D, E, you're going to make 100 grand. If you don't, you're going to make less. Right. And so I coach and I keep people accountable to that. So it's not like some magic silver bullet, right? It's as simple as that, is being very, very clear with the person of what the expectation is, but asking them, right? And coming to a mutual agreement, like you said, Mike, And then breaking down what their goals are, how much money they want to make, and then showing them to hit those goals. These are the steps you need to take. And if you don't take these steps, you won't make that money. And then I just track the KPIs, and if they're not hitting their numbers for the month, we have a kumbaya session of, how do we fix this? And if we can't fix it, the next month, then you got to go. I got people lining up at my door that want to join, and they're coming in, coming out. So coach up, coach out. That's how I roll now. I don't save people anymore. That was the other thing I learned.
That's a good one.
It's hard. I want to save.
Well, it is, because I want to save everybody.
I do too, man. I want to bless everybody, but not everybody wants to be blessed, right?
No, they're not willing to do the work, and there's that dirty word, that 4-letter word, work. that has to happen consistently over time.
Yes.
And too many people just aren't willing to allow themselves to be disciplined. Like, they love that freedom that comes with being self-employed, but that's also the reason why they aren't successful right now and probably won't be successful.
Exactly. And if you in the beginning you have that conversation of the schedule, and you ask, do you agree that you can do this? It will make your life so much easier. It has for me. Like, I don't hire anybody until they agree to that.